nice people here at the conference. Listen,
Okay.
listen. Hello, Savannah. Hello, Savannah. I'm coming to you live from Washington, D.C., the National League of Cities. It has been a fabulous time here. I've learned a lot, but more than what I have learned, I have also recognized how much missed opportunity we have in Savannah. So we're really looking forward to coming back and introducing some of this to council and our city manager and see where we go. But I thought it would be fitting tonight to introduce you to some of the leaders around our country. We have people from all over the United States. Y'all, the president spoke today. We were really excited to hear President Biden address the audience. You can go to my Facebook page and see what he talked about. We also had, who was it? Pete
Yes.
Buttigieg, our transportation.
Ms. Rice.
And Ms. Rice is the
Secretary
Domestic Affairs. Listen. Okay, so let me turn this camera around. How do I do that, producer? Cam. That's Cam on. I don't know how to turn it around. So how do we do this?
Hi, everybody.
This is Mr. Councilman Andreas Addison from Richmond, Virginia. And he is here in his second term.
Yes, second term, second year.
And tell me, what is it that you all are doing in Richmond that you are excited about, and what are you looking forward to?
Richmond's a hot market right now. One of the things we see is a lot of growth. The biggest important step is making sure it's inclusive, equitable, fair, and we're working on making sure that we're doing it in a way that's intentional and engaging people that are part of that, so it's not just over there versus here, it's all of us. That's the key part of it. Most importantly, we have a lot of healing to do as a country. A lot of it comes from Richmond. We were a slave trade hub for the country, and so we've got a lot of healing in terms of telling that story, and I think they go together really well together.
Yes, and you probably have not heard of the Weeping Time. Speaking of slave trade, enslaved people,
Heard
Savannah,
about that today.
did you really?
Yes.
Yes. So listen, Savannah is the place where the largest sale of enslaved persons happened in Savannah on March 3rd and 4th of 1859. And it's called the Weeping Time because it said that when the last person was sold, the skies opened up and it was as if God was crying. So listen, Councilman Addison, tell me, how many members are there on your council?
There are 9 of us. We have 9 wards. We are 9 different districts. We have a strong elected mayor, so they're separate. They do not vote in terms of our electoral aspects. We get to introduce legislation on our own. We have pieces of legislation we bring before our body. Of
So
course,
it takes 5 members of our council, which is a majority, to get an item introduced. And you said,
I can just submit an email and write a paper and get the paper introduced.
wow. Okay. Wow, that was Bill, y'all.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Listen, the conference, this is my second year attending. The first year was that year just as COVID was coming in. And so it's great to be back. And when I come to this conference, the thing for me is just rubbing shoulders with people who do like work. And you get to hear the stories. And it feels good to know that you're not alone and that we are doing the good work. We're doing what I call hard work, not H-A-R-D, but H-E-A-R-T, hard work. And so we want to thank you for your investment in Virginia.
Thank you.
And I guess I'll be seeing you around. Oh, what about your classes? What was one of the classes you've taken?
Here at the NLC, actually, I'm on the Large Cities Council.
Okay.
I help spearhead the conversation about conversations we're dealing with the topics around the country. A lot of important topics around affordable housing, homelessness, mental health, behavioral health, also youth violence. And so focusing on a lot of those priorities. But the last thing I liked a lot, which is the last point question raised, was how do we make government an employer of choice? A place people want to go do their career and work and develop. And I thought that was a great question to ask.
That's awesome. Well, listen, I will probably look you up because we're having a horrible crime involving youth. Gun violence is essentially an epidemic in Savannah. African-American men and boys are falling like flies. Just this week, it's just Monday. And between Sunday and today, we've had 3 deaths. I stopped looking at my messages. And so we've had a very bloody month in Savannah. And so I would love to engage and talk about some of the work that you're doing.
Happy to.
Okay.
Love to.
Take care. I'll see you
Nice to
around.
see everybody.
Okay, now we are with Mr. Joseph
From the town of
McMullen.
Oakland, Florida. What's
Listen,
going on?
Councilman McMullen,
Yes.
affectionately known as Hap, and I asked him why was he called Hap, and he said because he was a happy baby.
Yeah, I used to smile a lot, baby. I mean, I was very happy going. You know, I smile when I was in junior high school. I used to smile a lot, so that's why they call me Happy Head. So now they call me Happy, so they call me Hap.
Gotcha.
So I'm just here to bring the love. What's going on?
Well, listen, let them know what city you represent.
Town of Oakland in Central Florida, right outside Orlando.
Okay, and you have a population of
We're about 4,000 people.
Okay.
We're just south of 4,000 people.
And how long have you been on city council?
I've been on city council since 2006, so I'm running about 15 and a half years.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. So that means you're doing a good job. The people think so, anyway.
I'm doing my best. You know, I've been unopposed for like 4 elections, and so I'm just trying to do my best to serve the people. My mission or my mantra is I'm using my influence for those who have little or no influence, and I got that from Pastor Rick Warren. Mm-hmm. So I'm just trying to do my best to try to serve the people. I'm listening to the people, see what they need, what they want, what the desires are, and I'm just trying to serve them based on those discussions.
I love that. I love that. Now tell me this: how many members of council do you have?
We have 4 council members, and we have 1 mayor.
Okay.
And we have a town manager, strong leadership, and we work well together. I would tell people this all the time. We work well. We play well in the sandbox. You know, our goal is to try to do all we can to make sure that we do what is needed for the town of Oakland and West Orange County, which is right outside of Disney area in the state of Florida.
And so, speaking of working well together, when you introduce legislation or present something for an ordinance, how many people does it take to get that on the agenda?
You know, honestly, it really doesn't take much. We have an idea, we have a decision, we have something that we're trying to do. We just present it. Like right now, we're working on our infrastructure, and so we talk to our state legislators, we talk to our federal legislators. We have a consensus. Mm-hmm. So of course, it has to be a majority of our council
to ultimately vote it over.
Exactly, and then I'll be honest with you guys. We work well together. We understand. Our goal is really to do our best for our constituency. So if you think about it, what we're doing right now is in place for the next 50 to 100 years. Mm-hmm. We want to hear for a short period of time. Mm-hmm. So, we're just the placeholders. And so what we're trying to do is try to do all we can, the best that we can, to make sure that we're making this the best place for our future, for those that are there now and for the generations to come.
I love that. I love it. Well, today, we had an opportunity to hear our President of the United States speak. He came and addressed the group, and it was really nice to hear his message. Again, you can go on my Facebook page, and it's live there. But what was one of the takeaways for you from his message today?
He said, keep the faith, but know what he said after that? Spread the faith. So our goal is just to spread goodness and greatness, because we can't do this by ourselves. Let's get rid of the partisan discussion. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, we're all trying to do the best that we can to serve our constituencies.
Right.
And we're just trying to do the best. Mm-hmm. And so let's not make it a blue thing or a red thing. Let's make this like Obama said, this is the United States of America. We're trying to serve our people. At the end of the day, we're all trying to do the best that we can for our local communities. And so why we just can't come together, just talk to each other. Let's listen and let's do our best to really try to make a difference. Because at the end of the day, we really just want to try to make sure that we are having a great time and doing the best, because what we're dealing with right now, it's not for us.
Right.
It's for the future. Mm-hmm. So that's all we're trying to do, is trying to make the best decision so we can do the things that's going to keep our communities together and do what we can to really take our communities to the next level.
I love it. I love it. And listen, it's a small world. You know someone who is near and dear to my heart in Savannah. You want to send him a shout out?
Dr. Jamal, what's up, baby? I love you, Jamal. Jamal, you hey. Jamal from Savannah State, from Georgia Southern, wherever he's at right now. Uh-huh. Jamal, you my man. Continue to fight. I'm with you. I'm coming alongside you. I don't care what's going on. I know at the end of the day, you care for Savannah and you are doing your best. Hap McMullen is there to help you to do whatever you need to do to make sure that we preserve what happened in the past and continue to hold on and create the best that we can for our citizens for the future.
I love it. I love it. Well, listen, thank you so much. We have a reception to get to shortly, so I guess I'll be seeing you there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay. Y'all, we are just snagging people. I have Miss Julie here. Miss Julie, council member from, I can't even say that. What is it, Julie?
Puyallup,
Washington. And what is the population there?
41,000.
41,000. Listen, this is my Facebook Live. You say hello, Savannah?
Hello, Savannah.
Savannah, Georgia. You are a council member in your community. How long have you been there?
On the council, 8 years.
Mm-hmm. 8 years.
This is my 9th year.
Your 9th year, so you're in your second term.
Third
term. So
4-year terms.
Okay, gotcha. Listen, what are some of the good things that's happening there?
In Puyallup,
Mm-hmm.
tons of good things. We've got lots of economic development happening in our community. We're the home of the Washington State Fair, so if you've gone to...
I have not.
There you go. You have to visit Puyallup. We're right next to Tacoma.
I got to learn how to say it first.
So
Puyallup.
I will tell you. It's not... People from my town don't like my explanation. You say pew, like it smells, all, and up.
Oh, Puyallup.
Yes, there you go.
I love it. Have you been enjoying the conference?
I have. It was great. Today was a
Awesome.
really good day. It was fun.
Now, how many members of council are there in your community?
7.
7. Is your mayor a voting
Yes.
person? Okay, and so if you wanted to get legislation on the agenda or get an item presented to council, how would you do that?
We can do it a couple of different ways. We have council-initiated items where 2 or more people can place it on an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
If 4 or more go to the city manager and say we want something, then it will just be on the agenda without having to have a vote.
Wow, did you hear that, Savannah? Every time I come to this conference, I just get so much validation. But we're going to do better, I hope. Well, listen, thank you for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of the conference, and we'll be in touch. When I come to Washington, I'm going to look you up, okay?
Okay, how does it
Pew all up.
Yes. Nice job. Nice to meet you.
Take care, sweetheart. Kyle,
Hi.
how are you? Council person from where?
Hillsboro, Oregon.
Hillsboro, Oregon.
Yeah.
And how long have you been on council?
7 years.
7 years?
Yeah.
Awesome. And what do you have going on there that's good? What's happening good?
It's all good. Actually,
Mhm.
well, the economy, people are working, right?
Mhm.
That's an improvement. We have Intel in my community. They do research and development, so
Okay.
people are working again, and that's really wonderful.
President Biden announced today something about a manufacturing plant involving IT. They're going to start making the chips here in the United States.
Yeah, so we have in my community in Hillsboro, Oregon. That's where they create the new chips. They develop the technology. But
Okay.
once they have it developed, they normally ship that to other factories around the world to
Mhm.
mass produce it.
Mm-hmm.
And what Intel announced is in Ohio, they're making a $20 billion investment.
How awesome
building
is that?
factories out there. It's totally awesome.
Yes, right?
And what Biden was calling for is that if they pass this CHIPS Act, they're going to make another $100 billion investment in Ohio to
Awesome.
make those chips in America. So,
Awesome. That's awesome. Now, finally, tell me this. How many members of council are there on your council?
we've got 7 members.
7 members?
Including
And
me.
if you wanted to get an item on the agenda, present legislation, how many members does that take? What does that process look like?
Well, so I would first go to our city manager,
Mhm.
who would help me understand kind of where we're at and what we're currently doing to make sure I'm not stepping on any toes.
Mhm.
And then I would go to my other councilors. We discuss it ideally as a council priority.
Mhm.
And it takes 2 people, first person to make the motion, second person to make the second,
Mhm.
in order to move that process. And then we need, of course, a simple majority in order to pass it. So we need at least 4 of the 7.
Wow.
But most of everything we do is unanimous because we go through that council priority process, and we're in agreement of most.
It
of
is
the
all
things we
made
do.
public.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, listen, thank you for taking a few moments to say hello to
Yeah.
Savannah.
You can smile. Hey, everybody.
And this is my second year at the conference. We didn't have it last year because of COVID, so it's really good to be back. And as I stated before, I really appreciate being able to talk and learn and grow from others across the United States. And It's refreshing to see and know that you're not in this by yourself. So
No.
thank you
That's
for
all
your
about. Nice to
investment.
meet you.
Yes. Okay, there you have it. Let's see, it's a couple other people I wanted to introduce you all to. This one guy here, he is quite a character. Mr. Quentin. Quentin. I think that's his name. No. Yes. I'm still on. Are you a council member?
No, I'm his fiance.
Oh, okay. It's good to meet you.
It's good to meet you.
Why didn't you introduce us? Listen, let me introduce you to Savannah.
Well,
She know
hello,
Jamal.
Savannah.
She know Jamal.
I know Jamal, and I love Savannah. It is a great city. I love coming there, and we got to go back. We got to schedule some time to go back.
That's right.
It's
That's
great.
right. And make it soon.
We will. It is definitely on our list.
Yes. Devontae. Let me see. I have one more person. Here he is. This guy.
You know he a hell raiser.
He is one of the most comical people here at the conference. Listen, Mr. Devontae Johnson, y'all.
Hi.
Macomb, Mississippi.
Macomb, Mississippi. Macomb, Mississippi.
And I'm just gonna jump in because I like being here because the Mississippi.
What happened? Oh, there we go.
Mississippi.
Yes. So tell us,
Mississippi.
what do you all have going on in Mississippi and Macomb?
So we have a lot going on. Number one, it's election year.
Mhm.
So our election is May 3rd. So I'm in campaign mode, you know.
And what term would this be for you?
This will be my second term.
Okay.
So I was one of the youngest elected officials elected in Mississippi in
At
2008. I was 20. I got elected at 20, got sworn in at 21.
Oh,
So,
wow. So y'all hear that, young people? Get involved in government.
yeah, so get involved. It's very worth it.
Mhm.
Find your place to serve. I was reminded of something today that I thought was just like, it reminded me why I do what I do. I was complaining about a nasty campaign and all that, and somebody said this to me. They said, remember, it's always a privilege to serve.
Mhm.
And so that kind of resonated with me. So find a place that you can serve, get involved in your government, get involved in your city, get involved in the NAACP, get involved in your Democratic Party. Georgia is doing some big things. You guys have elected 2 Democratic United States senators. So
Y'all, these people are very partisan here. Very partisan.
I'm very partisan.
Listen, tell me this. How many members of council are there in Macomb?
There are 6 members of council.
And what's your population
Our
size?
population is 13,000 people.
Okay.
So, yep. I represent the best ward in the city, Ward 3. So,
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of progressive things. We eliminated cash bail bonds in our city. I proposed eliminating, decriminalizing marijuana. We're doing a lot of amazing things. So we have a Black Lives Matter Avenue in our city, so I'm very proud of that. So yeah, we're doing a lot of progressive things. So
Awesome. Now tell me this: if you wanted to present legislation for consideration, what does that process entail? Like, how do you get an item on the agenda?
So for me, I just submit it to the clerk. She gets it on the agenda. We bring it up at work session, and then if we have a consensus at the work session, it gets on the docket for the following board meeting.
So I was just speaking with Councilman Addison a moment ago, and he introduced me to his legislative aide that he actually has here with him. Do you all have administrative support?
Yeah, we have some staff members. They don't travel with me though.
Right. Well, listen, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Okay, Savannah. Let's see. If there was one other woman I wanted to introduce you all to before I go to this reception, but she is not here. So what we're going to do is continue to. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. She's complimenting me on my boots, y'all.
Yes, look at those boots. They are gorgeous. And I'm from Texas, so those are gorgeous.
Oh, so that I think I showed it to them. I don't know. Okay, so you're from Texas.
Yes.
Mhm. So are you all council women?
I'm she.
Okay,
I'm
are
just
you?
his sister.
Y'all look alike. Are y'all related?
Twin.
That's your sister.
Yes. My twin sister.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
She's the smart one and I'm the pretty one.
I love it. I love it. And it both works, right?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Well, let me speak to the smart one for a second here about your work on council. I'm a councilwoman in Savannah. I serve, they call us older women. and I serve in an at-large post. And weekly, I speak to my city about just what I'm doing or any hot topics. And the hot topic now is the conference, of course. I was just kind of giving them a recap and introducing them to some of these awesome people. So what is your name and what is your role?
My name is Anne Marie Torres. I am city commissioner for Kingsville, the city of Kingsville, Texas, which is where the home of the King Ranch.
Okay, I love it. How many people are in your population?
We have a population of 27,000.
Okay, small community.
It's a small community, but we're wonderful people. One of the things that I had been trying to do, and when the president was speaking, I was on live Facebook because I also want to try to make sure that our community knows that we're actually out there doing something.
Doing the work.
Yeah, we're not, just sitting around and taking it for granted that, whatever comes.
Right. And I think oftentimes we make what we do look easy and glamorous, but it's not just hard work, it's also hard work, HEART.
Yes,
and so we appreciate you for doing it. Now tell me this, with regard to introducing an item, piece of legislation for consideration, what process does that entail for you all? How do you get an item on the agenda?
Well, what we do is most of the citizens will talk to us, or if there is a project or something that we see, something that another city has that maybe would benefit us, is we'll talk with our city attorney or city manager, and we'll put it on the agenda. We'll discuss it, and if we've got somebody who knows exactly what we're talking, we'll invite them to speak, and then we'll put it as, consideration, and then on the next subject, we'll take a vote on it if it's something that we're all, in agreement.
Awesome. So really just one person.
Yes.
Interesting.
One person can make a difference. It's extremely important. I know a lot of individuals say, oh, well, if I vote, it's not going to matter. If I say something, it's not going to matter. No, your voice may be that one that makes the difference to change what has either been done for a long time or has never been done.
And you know what else I like? What you said, you actually will listen to your constituents.
Yes.
And if your constituents are interested in something, you can carry that forward as well.
Yes.
I love that.
I think it's extremely important that, our citizens know that that's what I'm there for. That's what I got elected for. So call me, send me an email, text me, come by, and, I'm there. I will sit and listen. And I will pass the information on to our other city commissioners and our mayor and see if there's something that we can do.
I love that. I love it.
Not to mention, I do have to mention,
No,
she is our first combat female veteran in our county, Flavor County, Texas. So that's another thing. We're both veterans. She's Army, and I forgive her, I'm Navy. But I do have to say that our city is making more improvements for our veterans than ever before.
That's awesome. Well, I would like to, I'm going to look you up too, so that I can pick your brain about what you are doing in your community, there, your local government for veterans. That's interesting. Well, you all have been kind. I'm going to definitely reach out to you. You have been kind with your time, and we'll see you around.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And that's a compliment. I got a compliment on my boots from somebody from Texas, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. And we know our stuff when it comes to boots.
Right. Well, listen, guys, I got to get to this reception, and we're just grateful for the opportunity to be here, to meet so many wonderful people. This conference is for all elected officials throughout the United States. And so to be able to hear their experiences, sharing ideas, and to know that some of the issues that we're having in our community is familiar to them. We have a lot of commonality with regard to issues. However, our approach to solving some of these issues are much different depending on who you talk to. And we are most interested in making a difference when it comes to crime. As I said, guys, we are in a public health crisis situation in Savannah. We are having far too many people dying at the hands of gun violence. And while it may appear to just be situational, we do recognize that bullets do not have names. So we have to get to a place where we can start having some real conversations about our management and our police department, Oh, I can't think of her name. It was the person I was supposed to be talking to. But anyway, we're having far too much gun violence, particularly among African American males and boys in the community. My heart cries continuously for those families who are losing their loved ones prematurely to gun violence or gun violence, period. And I've made a request to our council as well as our city manager and mayor for us to have an executive session so that we can have a real conversation about crime and what it is we are and are not doing about it, what we can do better and what we should be doing, and what we're not doing enough of. And I'm going to see if that request is honored, and I'm hopeful that it will be, so that we can start trying to figure this out and fix it, ultimately fix it. But if we do not address the issue, if we do not have the tough conversations and we keep hiding behind fake data and statistics and insulating people who are in place to help us, who we pay, who are on the payroll doing this work, if we continue to insulate those individuals and not hold them accountable, when you have a full 4 to 6 hour council meeting and you only carve out 30 minutes for the police chief to do a presentation on crime, and then you have the audacity to filibuster through that, only to say we're going to have council submit questions in writing and come back, and you schedule him the following meeting, and in you rescheduling him, that's even abbreviated. So again, when we're not, as leaders, making crime and approaching the issue and talking about it and trying to really solve it, we ourselves become culpable in this epidemic that we are now seeing. If we were to approach gun violence and homicide among our youth in the same manner in which we approached COVID, the pandemic, I can only imagine where we would be as a community. It's going to take more than just this soundbite in this conversation, but listen, I'll have some more updates for you all on public safety. Some of the sessions I've sat through here are inclusive of public safety, after school programming, pieces related to homelessness and housing. The housing strategies session was really, really good. Lots of information to share and to give. Mindfulness was also a session that I attended, and the whole time I was thinking about our city staff. The city staff really need support. They are hurting, they need healing, and we are continuously advocating for that as well. So listen, I gotta go now, but we really appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Have a good night. I love you, Savannah.
Like that.